Hey guys, so today I am going to be reviewing slash looking at the CopyCat makeup line, aka the makeup line that Danielle Bregoli, aka Bhad Bhabie, aka Cash Me Outside Girl is endorsing. When I watched her video, I thought it was really interesting considering she said a few things during it that you normally in my head wouldn't want to say when you're trying to sell a makeup line, but we'll get into that. It sort of felt like in her video like she was passing it off as it was her makeup line, which it isn't. She was paid $900,000 by CopyCat Beauty itself to sort of be the face and sort of like endorse the brand. So I thought it would be interesting to try out today, so I placed an order. It got here honestly really fast. It got here in 2 days from the day I ordered it, literally. So they shipped it same day, got it out, and it got to me. I did pay for express shipping because I wanted to get this up ASAP, but nonetheless, it still zoomed on out there. So good on that, no issues on any of that. I think I spent a total of $70 including shipping for all of this that I got. It came packaged pretty well with bubble wrap and these little peanuts. Luckily, I have a lot of the originals of the stuff that it is copying. I feel like there was sort of some controversy in her comments about like either can they get sued for this since they're pretty much just almost replicating these other products. And I'm pretty sure that they're totally fine on that. There is another brand called Makeup Revolution that I feel like does this pretty often with palettes and stuff. They dupe things for a much lower price on a regular basis, so it's not the first time a brand has done this. I would say though that this is being way more upfront about it than brands usually are with, you know, the whole copycat thing. I feel like it'll be interesting to try and see how it works. So let's just kind of get through it. I did get some brushes and I did put on my foundation with one of the brushes that are supposedly comparable to Marc Jacobs. I thought it's a pretty good brush. I think I probably spent like $2 or $3 on it. I think it's worth every penny. It was soft, it didn't leave any streaks. Face looks pretty good. So this brush at least pretty good in my book. I'll put it in my regular brushes, use it, you know, get my money's worth. Okay, so first let's start on eyeshadow palettes. I got 2 of them. So I got one that's supposedly like a dupe for the Modern Renaissance and one that is a dupe for the Too Faced Peach palette. So on the boxes, I noticed that it says Go To Beauty, and even on the back it says go to beauty.com. When you go to beauty.com, it just redirects you to CopyCat Beauty. So I'm not sure if they rebranded or whatever, but definitely just different on the thing. Honestly and truly, this is most likely, in my opinion, allegedly, or whatever, that'll keep me from getting sued, probably just wholesale makeup that you could honestly probably find on like Wish or AliExpress or something like that. But at $8 and you get it shipped quick, it's not a bad deal, I don't think. So this one I would assume is the Modern Renaissance. So the shades right off the bat to me do look pretty similar. So here is the Modern Renaissance and here is the CopyCat Beauty. They do look really similar in color. From the eye, I would say they are completely similar. It might be different when you swatch them. So that's what we're gonna do. I want to compare ingredients really quick though, because her main point in the video is that it's the same thing, you're just paying less money. So in the ingredient, the first ingredient in the Modern Renaissance palette is mica. And the first ingredient in this one is talc. And then in this one, it is dimethicone, and then in this one it is mica. So first few ingredients, but I would think that those ones are probably pretty similar for most eyeshadow palettes. The pigment is probably going to be number 1 most of the time. I'm going to take a couple swatches. So I say we take some of the like main swatches in this one. So we'll get this orange here, we'll get this pink here, and maybe this gold here. Swatches on there. Here are the swatches from the Anastasia one. It's my terrible swatching skills because I don't normally swatch things. Is this a beauty channel? I don't remember. Thought we were a DIY channel. Okay, and then into the CopyCat Beauty. So clean fingers, and just gonna kind of get all in there like I did with the Anastasia one. Oops, try not to scratch it. And then those are those ones, and so I turned the brightness down so you could see the colors are similar, but I would say that the Anastasia one, it definitely has way more payoff. Even if I went back and say I did some terrible swatches with this, I had a lot still left on my fingers with the Anastasia one. There we go. I'll even put another layer. Even digging in to say this gold one right here, it is not comparable in the CopyCat Beauty one compared to the Anastasia one. The other two, the mattes though, they do seem pretty good. This is with 2 swatches and this is with 1, but I don't feel like that's really that big of a difference, especially for when it's like a fraction of the price. So I would say these 2 are pretty much spot on. The shimmer though could probably use some work, but you would probably be fine if you just wet your brush. So I would say not bad for that. I'm not gonna swatch like every single color. So next, let's pull out the Peach Palette dupe. Packaged pretty well in bubble wrap and everything. So here is the Peach Palette dupe, and here is the original Peach Palette. The Too Faced Sweet Peach Palette is actually my favorite palette of all time. So here they are, kind of hard to see with the shine for both of these. The colors do look pretty spot on once again. So I say we do some swatching. This time I'll swatch this one first. So we'll take maybe the black, and then I'm trying to make sure I get some good swatches. And then what's another pretty one? Maybe this one right here. And then this one. Okay. And then we'll put it right here. Swatches from that. And then let's do the same for this one. So, oh, my bad, I already, so here, here, and here. So I feel like you can definitely see the black difference. The black on this one was just super pigmented. The second one, I feel like there definitely is a lot more of a rose gold sheen on the Peach palette than there is on the CopyCat Beauty one. They're both basically like rose gold, but I would say like the Peach one definitely has more gold. And then as far as this like orange shade goes, they both seem pretty similar. The only difference is the Too Faced one actually has like mini sparkles in this like light orange color, and this one does not. But overall, I actually think that they swatched pretty good, especially if it's really the colors you're looking for and not really the price, because honestly, most people pay for the names and the packaging nowadays. So that's really something that you're just gonna have to decide. Like if you really want, you know, like the whole pink tin and the fact that this one does smell like peaches, and with the Sweet Peach one anyway, the sparkles and stuff definitely may have a little bit of a difference in them. The shades are pretty spot on, like pretty spot on, but like the little sparkles in a few of these, this one just has like a top layer of sparkles, almost like an overspray, and this one has sparkles like throughout. It's many things like that, which in the long run probably don't really matter as much. At that point, it's just, do you want a Too Faced one with the nice packaging, or do you want this one with not the nice packaging? Basically, both have a mirror, but brand name, not brand name. As far as ingredients goes, let's compare these ones. So for the Too Faced one, each shadow pretty much has a different formula for the most part. They all are a little bit different, but for the most part, I'll just pick the top one. It has talc and mica, which is similar to this one, and then from there, that's where it varies. Basically what most eyeshadow palettes have, but the Too Faced one has by far more ingredients, because this is way longer of a list than this little one, and you are getting a lot of different variations of formulas in this one. So I say we put this on our eyes now. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a mix of both for each palette, considering that these two have such similar formulas. I don't really think it'll make a difference. And I feel like it's fine to mix the Modern Renaissance and the Sweet Peach one. So I am going to use the brushes from the CopyCat Beauty brand for the CopyCat Beauty palettes, and I'll use my other brushes for the other palettes. I'm gonna just put on a little bit of tape so we can make this quick and easy and clean for the eyeshadow. I'm gonna start out by going in with this shade just all over my lid, sort of get a base color down. Then we'll go in with the same on the other side. So far, pretty much applying about the same. Don't really see much of a color or pigmentation difference. Some of the things that I did just want to bring up while I'm doing this is, in the video, she made it seem like she hadn't even seen or used any of the makeup before entering the studio to film this video. This one, because when she was doing some of the comparisons, she did say some things like, and I quote, "These colors do look pretty similar. I'm sure they apply the same because they look the same." Which, even if you are getting paid that much and you don't really care, in my head, you would at least maybe just want to try it out maybe once. You know, when she says, "I'm sure they apply the same," pretty much means that she doesn't know, which I just thought was interesting. It is applying really well though, really smooth. Brushes feel nice as well. I think it's great that, you know, her whole thing with that is promoting makeup that people can afford and it being a lot more accessible, but she should still try it. Like, at least try the makeup. She also said that like Urban Decay eyeshadows crumble, which I have used, I would say, quite a bit, you know, of Urban Decay eyeshadows in my time, and I've never had any of them crumble. And in the video, she also said, and I literally quote, "I don't really wear makeup," so I just thought that was interesting to say. I've never really seen her wear like a full face of makeup aside from, I think, like maybe like a red carpet picture or anything like that. I don't think I've ever seen her wear like a full glam just to wear it. I am getting quite a bit of fallout right here while I'm trying to blend out the shade, but it still does look pretty good. Next, we'll go back to the Anastasia one. I know that Anastasia are like almost notorious for having like a lot of fallout since the subculture debacle, but I felt like I was honestly having a way harder time with the other one. And as far as like the pigmentation goes, I spent all that time on this eye and I got the same or better. I feel like it's almost darker on this side in like a fraction of the time. It does look the same, but I also have the fallout on this side. I'm not trying to nitpick this, I'm just trying to go through the differences. I didn't get like a flat brush from the CopyCat Beauty, but I am going to go into this gold right here and we're gonna put it here. I do feel like the shimmers are a tiny bit lacking just because I'm not really getting the shine that I want on that. Even like, let's really dig in and it's just not happening here. And then let's try the Anastasia one. You can like instantly see the difference, like that's what I want. I keep having to resist the urge to just go back over this side. And then I'm gonna go back with the same brushes for each one. I'm gonna wipe them off first though. I'm gonna grab the top shade and do like an inner corner and an under brow highlight. Oh wow, that's so much more pigmented than I thought. Maybe the gold was just a dud. Not bad though. And then let's go back. You know, I could have just done one eye and then did the other eye, but then I feel like I would have forgotten what I used, so it just has to happen this way. Pretty similar on those ones, and then we're gonna go back into this one and let's just do like a winged liner with eyeshadow. Since I have lash extensions right now, I don't want to put any liner on it right now because then it won't get off, and I have an appointment in a couple days and I need these to last until then. So I'm gonna use the black from each one, and we're just gonna kind of do a little bit of like a liner. That one. Okay, I'm really doing my best not to give like either eye any special attention, and I think I've done pretty good so far. So there is that. Let's do a quick close-up. Hello. So here is the, oh, this eyebrow's not looking good, is it? Let's pretend. Here is the CopyCat beauty side. Here is the Too Faced and Anastasia side. I'm just gonna say original, okay? Here's the original side. Obviously a lot more fallout, not nearly as much fallout. I'm gonna take the tape off. That's where I'm at. I'll just try to dust that off really quick. Pretend this never happened. Since I don't wear like heavy foundation, it's not usually a problem for me. But if you wear a lot of foundation, I could see how that could be a problem for you. So I'm gonna do up close, and we're just going to sort of finish off the under eye. I just kind of want to not smoke it out, but I guess just not leave it completely bare. I know a lot of people don't like when I do this. They look like you're sick or something, but I love doing it. And then I'm just going to finish off with some lower mascara. Otherwise, I feel like I look super weird without lower mascara. Okay, so here is the eyeshadow. I did get a liquid eyeshadow, and we'll do that. I just want to show the eyeshadows by themselves before we put that on top. So overall, I do say that this eye, the original, does look a little bit better. I think the pigmentation is just a little bit better, especially with the gold. The gold here is really lacking for me. I feel like you can definitely achieve the same look for sure, but there is definitely some minor differences, like with the eyeliner here. It's sort of patchy, and I feel like just with the black on this side is way darker. It almost looks like actual eyeliner, and this one definitely looks like eyeshadow. And I feel like overall I spent a lot more time on this eye than I did on this eye. This eye was a lot easier to do, so there's that. Let's grab the liquid eyeshadow and zoom out. So here's the liquid eyeshadow. It's really separated right now. It looks kind of gross, to be honest. And my Stila one has been sitting untouched for weeks and weeks and weeks, and definitely isn't separated. And I'm actually having a hard time mixing this one back. I feel like all of the glitter is just on one side. I think I did good on getting the exact same shade pretty much. So let's swatch. I'm gonna mix this one up a fair bit, try to give it a good chance. Okay. So here is this one. I feel like it's a little lacking, to be honest. It seems really watery. I think it's just really separated. I might have to call out the boyfriend. Try to give it a good shake. Okay, so here we are on one layer of the CopyCat Beauty. I tried to shake it up some more, and let's do a second swatch. I just am having a really hard time with this. It's just not doing a thing. This is as good as it's gonna get, to be honest. So I feel like it moves it around too. Like whenever I try to put it on, it just sort of moves the previous glitter that I put down. Here's the Stila one. I'm gonna give it the same courtesy we gave the other one, a couple swatches. I feel like you can see the difference. I feel like the has like a gold sort of shimmer liquid underneath, and this one is just clear. So this is only glitter. You're only gonna get the glitter, and this has glitter plus, I think, just like a liquid eyeshadow sort of sheen under it. So that's a difference. Overall, in comparison, I would say that so far these are not the same. And as far as ingredients go, these ones are pretty different. So let's put this on. I don't know why I didn't zoom in like the entire time. That's a might be. So let's put the CopyCat Beauty on. It is still a pretty glitter. And to be fair, let's only put one coat of each, or one dip rather, of product. CopyCat Beauty, and then Stila one. So there is the difference, honestly, a pretty big difference in that. I think that so far this is the one that has the biggest difference. I would say is not the same thing. So next, let's move on to the highlighter. So she seemed to have a lot of dupes for the glow kits by Anastasia. So this one is in Tropic Glow from the CopyCat Beauty. I keep wanting to call it the Go-To Beauty. The packaging on this is really pretty though. I mean, like the hollow, you can't beat that. So here are the palettes. I can see a little bit of a difference in the darker one just right off the bat. Not a huge difference, but just ever so slightly. So another, packaging difference. Mirror, no mirror. So that actually is good on them. But you can pop these ones out if you are to want to, say, put it in a Z palette, take it with you if you're like collecting all, like a little to-go palette. You could pop one of these out. Probably a little harder to pop one of these out. You could probably do it though. So let's try the highlighter. So I'm gonna just swatch all of these really quick. Not bad, pretty shiny. The Anastasia one. Did I do the same order? I think so. So I feel like you can for sure see the difference. I think I even went a lot lighter on my swatches for the Anastasia one, but to me, these just obviously show up way, way more than these ones, even with my light turned down. So I wouldn't normally put on my highlighter with such a big fan brush, but I found these two and they're pretty similar. So we're gonna give it a go. I'm gonna go in just to the lightest one just because that's the only one that works for me in this glow kit, to be honest, in probably either one just because of the shade. So I'm pretty happy with that. I feel like it is pretty, highlightery, that's not a word. I feel pretty glowy on that side. I am going to use this one for mirror because the other one doesn't have one. This one also has a pretty good glow going on. I can't tell if one has more shine than the other. That's something you guys are probably gonna have to tell me if you have like a certain opinion. Overall, I actually do think these ones look pretty similar. I think we forgot to go over the ingredients. So in this one has mica and then like magnesium something, and pretty much in all of these it's mica or talc and then some other stuff. So not 100% but similar. And then now on to the lipsticks. This was actually the part that I was most looking forward to because she had dupes for two of my most favorite lipsticks of all time from MAC. So I got the shades that were similar to MAC Velvet Teddy and MAC Heroin. These are by far my favorite shades from MAC. Velvet Teddy is like my ride or die. I've actually gone through one of those, which is like the only lipstick I've ever done that with. They do have similar packaging as well, but pretty much the almost exact same size. These are matte, these are shiny. So here's the CopyCat Beauty one. We're gonna just, I need to be able to see. So we're gonna just do like a couple swatch there. Does that work here? I'll give it a little bit of more. It's actually, seems like it's almost a little streaky, but okay, there it is. And then next for the Velvet Teddy. So here is MAC Velvet Teddy and here is the CopyCat Beauty one. I feel like they are obviously super, super similar, but they have almost a different undertone. I feel like the original is a little bit more gray toned and this one's a little bit more warm toned. If you don't really care about the exact, then I think definitely good dupe for you. The CopyCat Beauty one, I definitely did actually feel like it was less pigmented and not as smooth 100%. But shade-wise, I would say they're pretty spot on. Like if someone handed that to me and I put it on, I might think it's like a tiny bit off, but I might not. Next, this one is MAC Heroin. So this one is the CopyCat Beauty one. They don't have the vanilla-y smell that MAC has. And then here also another like pretty used one by me. Here is the MAC Heroin. So Original and the CopyCat. This one is a little bit more of a difference. This one's a lot more pink and a little bit brighter. This one's more purple and a little bit darker. I would say this one's probably a pretty hard dupe just because it's such a unique color. I honestly think it's like the best purple in the entire world, and I've never been able to find another color similar. So I understand why they probably couldn't get it like exact. But again, if you don't care about exact, then perfect for you. I actually think it's a pretty good match. So I'm gonna put the Velvet Teddy one on today, where I'll just do a half and half. I do have some chapstick on underneath still, but that's fine. Then for the Original, having it on my lips, I can tell it is two different lipsticks. The CopyCat Beauty, I would actually say is a little bit more matte and it's a little bit more stiff. The MAC one is a little bit more smooth and I would say a little bit more comfortable, but the MAC one does definitely, I would say, matte a little bit more over time, and this one is just right off the bat. CopyCat, Original. And then let's just go over some of the other stuff I got. I got this, I think this is a lip gloss. These are supposed to be similar to the Anastasia ones. I don't have the exact color from Anastasia, but I do have one in general just to compare the formula to. So let's just give it a swatch just cause. It is pretty pigmented, especially since the Anastasia glosses are usually pretty pigmented. And then here's just an Anastasia gloss just to compare. They do seem like they have sort of the same sheen, and I would say the Anastasia gloss is maybe a little bit thinner. I don't know if it's enough to really make that much of a difference though. Like, I don't know if it's going to be a world's difference, but they both, I feel like, have like the same sort of sheen going on and shininess. And then I actually did get an eyeliner just because I did want to see. Wow, and it's actually really, I feel like this is pretty good. It's really, really black, and it doesn't look like it is bleeding. Can I draw? Wow, this actually seems pretty good quality to me, just right off the bat, being an eyeliner connoisseur. Already dry. So overall, I feel like as I've done this video, I feel like this eye has actually faded a little bit. Just, I feel like it's not as pigmented as this eye. You can sort of see it just kind of looks like I've worn this one for an entire day already. And this one looks like I just put it on because I literally did. Here's the lipstick difference, highlighter difference. So I think I'm actually going to wear this all for a couple hours because I do have a bunch of stuff I need to do around the house, and I figure why not and give it just a little bit of a wear test for both of them, and so we can see how it compares over time too. Because while sometimes things look really great initially, it can sort of break down, sort of kind of like how I feel like this one is doing. But in general, I feel like my thoughts are this stuff isn't bad at all. I don't feel like it's the exact same. I feel like you do sort of miss out on some of the packaging for certain items, like the eyeshadow palettes. You know, a lot of people are like makeup collectors and they will want to spend the extra money to get this opposed to this. But this packaging is really pretty still, even though these are pretty similar. I don't think that any of this is necessarily bad quality at all. The brushes were pretty good. The eyeshadows I thought were pretty good. I didn't see any big duds. The highlighter palette I feel like was really, really similar. The only thing that I really don't think is similar and I don't think is worth your money is the glitter eyeshadow. It is separating once again already. I feel like the liquid eyeshadow is definitely not worth it. I feel like it's just a little bit of glitter with a little bit of a base, and that's it. The Stila ones are definitely not just like a clear base and some glitter. They have a lot of different dimension in them. And if you're just wanting that specific shade or those specific shades and you're not worried about the brand name, you don't care, I think that this is actually a really, really good option. The only thing I would say is don't buy it just because it is Bhad Bhabie's, because she didn't create any of this stuff. She didn't have any ideas behind it. It's not like her makeup. It's more of just like she's showing it to you, she's introducing it to the public. It's not her creation, and also she also very much said it herself that she doesn't really wear makeup, and she sort of was like, I don't really wear makeup. She didn't even really try this stuff before she promoted it. While it's not bad stuff, because I feel like regardless she would have probably taken the money, and I can't truly fault her for that, because I feel like most people would take the money. $900,000 plus a cut of the sales is a lot of money, and at that point she probably doesn't care, and most people probably wouldn't care. In my opinion, if you were wanting to pick anything up from it, it would be probably the glow kits, just because I thought these were probably the most similar, and the packaging is pretty good. You even get a mirror, unlike the Anastasia ones, and the hollow packaging is really pretty. So yeah, you guys will have to let me know what you guys think about this down below. Do you not agree with the copying? Do you care or not care that Bhad Bhabie is endorsing it? Does it matter to you? Does the price matter? Does packaging matter? Let me know. I am going to get on with some of my house stuff, and I'll update at, some point, and we'll see how well each one stayed on, if there's a significant difference, if it looks the same, and so on. So I will get on with that, and I'll see you later. Okay, so it's the end of the night. It's like 6 hours later, and I'm back. So looking at my face, it really looks like the original eye held up much better. The copycat eye, I feel part of the eyeshadow liner that I did is almost completely faded. Pretty much all of the shadow I put under the glitter is completely gone, and I'm starting to fade on the not brown, orangish side as well. The highlight, I would say, still looks pretty good, and the lipstick, I think it faded maybe like 5% more than the MAC side did. So let's do another close-up. So the copycat and the original, so bright. Highlights, lips. So my true ending thoughts are, you really do get what you pay for. I don't think that the copycat beauty is going to last you all night. Say you have an important date or you have a really long day ahead of you. I don't think it's going to look as good as the originals will at the end of the day. I think that you might end up with maybe either a lot more fading, a lot more smearing, just maybe a lot less punch, especially for me, because I have generally dry skin. If you have oily eyelids or oily skin, you probably have a much higher chance of it breaking down even faster on you. I don't usually have makeup break down on me like this, so that isn't a common occurrence. So you really do get what you pay for. I mean, $8 I think, and $40 for a fifth of the price. It just really depends on what you want. I feel like another thing just with this brand is because they are copycats, they're always going to be riding the wave of whatever's popular. So you're gonna have to wait to get it, basically. So if a popular palette comes out and you really want to use it, you're gonna have to wait till they make it, produce it, and everything like that. And chances are they're never gonna come out with the next big new palette. That is all that I have to say about this. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this review, please make sure to give this video a like, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye! Oh, I also did get a mask. So she said she wouldn't actually put this on her face. She would just squeeze it out. So squeeze it out all onto the package there, and just honestly, my dryer is being so rude right now. So it looks like the sheet mask is mainly water and glycerin. Do I look anti-wrinkled, firmed, hydrated, and repaired?